John here, back again with another review, and today we're going to talk about and review Nighthawks from 1981. Getting back on the Stallone marathon here, and this is one that I've always heard about and just recently watched for the first time, and I really liked it. The plot here, real quick. So you have these two New York City detectives, played by Stallone and Billy D. Williams, and soon enough they're in pursuit of an international terrorist. The main villain of the film, played by Rutger Hauer, he enters the city, and it's up to our main characters to put a stop to this terrorist before he wreaks any more havoc. And that's the story here to Nighthawks. Now, the director here, Bruce Malmuth, he would go on to direct some stuff. He directed Hard to Kill with Seagal, which is a good Seagal film. Not my favorite, but that's the one that people always remember, where Seagal was in a coma, and then you got the line later on in the film, I'll take it to the bank, Senator, to the blood bank. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody remembers that, line. And the last film he directed was Pentathlon with Dolph Lundgren, which I haven't seen, but from what I've heard about the film, it's not too good. And I don't think, like I said, that was his last movie. He hasn't directed since. And they do have another director here who's uncredited, Gary Nelson, who before this directed The Black Hole. And as to why he's uncredited, from what I gather, there were some clashes on the set, which led to him being uncredited. But the cast here, again, you have, Stallone in the film, who does a good job. Billy D. Williams in the film. I thought, they had a good rapport going on. The one thing about this movie that people talk about is, Stallone's look in the film. He has a whole beard. And I really liked the beard. I thought it really worked, for Stallone here. Now, like I said, Billy D. Williams is a great actor. From, it's Lando. Lando Calrissian. He was also in Brian's Song. And, it's nice to, he's still around. But again, great actor. And Rutger Hauer is our main villain here. This character, Wolfgar. And to me, he's the VIP of the movie. Again, Stallone, Billy D. Williams, both do a good job. They have a good rapport, but, Rutger Hauer definitely steals the show here. This was a great showcase for, Rutger Hauer and what, kind of what you would see later when he would play more villains. And actually, this movie here kind of really, put Rutger Hauer on the map in a way. The other cast, supporting cast, you have Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman, who is the love interest in the movie. You also have Persis Kambata, who is Rutger Hauer's girl in the film, Shaka. And I'm like, where have I've seen her before. And she was in Star Trek The Motion Picture. And unfortunately, she passed away very young. Nigel Davenport as like the profiler. I thought he did good in the film. And, some of the scenes where they, go over the profile of our main villain, I thought those were really cool. Like, just really good scenes in the film. Joe Spinell is in here from, the first two Rocky movies. He's the lieutenant in the film. So again, really good cast. The one thing I could say, looking back on the film, again, while Stallone and Billy D, do a good job here, I kind of wish that, looking back, Billy D maybe had a little bit more to do. Because it kind of is Sly's. They're both, again, they both are good, both have a good rapport, but it does seem like at times, Billy D is kind of, pushed off to the side, or, not featured as much as Sly. I don't know. But, really good cast here. The score to the film by Keith Emerson, I thought it was decent. Kind of, in the beginning, it kind of reminded me of like a caper, like a caper type of score. But, when I talk about the movie, like as far as things that I really liked about the movie, to me, the New York setting I thought really worked. I thought it made for a great atmosphere, and again, this is the early 80s here. New York still has that very gritty, look, and it's down and dirty, so I really enjoy the atmosphere of New York here at this time. The characters I talked about, Sly's look in the film, he has the whole beard, and, they both of the characters have these like trench coats and the shotguns underneath. Really like that. Rutger Hauer in the film, in the beginning, I didn't recognize him. Now, I didn't recognize him with that look, where he has like the beard and hair. He kind of reminded me of Ellis in Die Hard. He had that Hans Booby kind of look going on. And I didn't recognize him, but, we got that scene in the movie where he does like plastic surgery, which you don't see, but I kind of wish that looking back, we could have seen that plastic surgery scene. But, the main villain does get plastic surgery to where he changes to that Rutger Hauer look that we know. But I didn't recognize him with the beard and hair. And even like when he had the beard and hair, there's this one scene where he kills this cop where he fires a gun through this guitar. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. And some good, good practical blood effects. Again, I like some of the scenes where the character played by Nigel Davenport, they go over the profile of Wolfgar, and that was some good stuff. There's one little thing that I've noticed too. I wrote it down here. There's a scene where Wolfgar goes into this like convenience store, and in the far corner, if you go back and look, there's like a little Ghost Rider comic, and it caught my eye, and I'm like, hey, that's a nice little nugget. And I don't know why, it caught my attention. If you look at it, go back and look at that scene where Rutger Hauer's character goes into this convenience store. I mean, if you look at the corner of the screen, you can see a Ghost Rider comic. It's kind of barely in frame, but it's there. And then, some of the scenes where Stallone and Billy D are going after Rutger Hauer, chasing him through the city in the subway. I thought those scenes were really good, well shot, great use of the camera. I would say, like, if you were to ask my favorite scenes of the film, I would say those are my favorite scenes where they're chasing Rutger Hauer's character through the subway. And then the whole third act of the film where Rutger Hauer, takes over this tram and he's got hostages, and you throw in this like, baby where, they're negotiating over this little toddler. Rutger Hauer's got demands, and he's like, hey, I'll let this baby go. And, the whole stunt there where, Stallone gets the baby and he's being dropped down, from the tram, looked quite dangerous. So, the whole third act was, had a lot of suspense. And, the way that Rutger Hauer, his character gets it in the end, I thought was a good comeuppance. Although it looked a little weird because Stallone shot him twice, but it looked like he had like 5 or 6 bullet shots when he fell down the stairs. Like he had far more bullet shots than what Stallone had fired. I thought Stallone's character had fired 2 shots. And if you look at Rutger Hauer's character, he has like 5 or 6. But yeah, so those are some things that I really liked about the movie. And I know, I gave some stuff away, but, I have to mention some highlights. Now it is time to get to my final thoughts. Very solid thriller with Sylvester Stallone and Billy D. Williams as New York detectives in pursuit of an international terrorist. It delivers on tension and thrills. Rutger Hauer steals the show as the villain. And out of 5 stars, I'm going to give Nighthawks 4 out of 5 stars. But thank you for watching, and have a good day.